Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! It is only 9:01 a.m. Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. And as yours truly promised just last night, I am back with a new Descendants video coming at you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, I think you're going to want to do that because you're really going to love this YouTube channel. I think this is the first morning that I've actually worn a black sweater in a long time. I wear black sweaters when I'm out on my vampire zombie slaying shift every night. The graveyard shift never gets easier. And I think this is one of the first mornings that I've actually been sporting a black sweater. What do you girls think? Hit the like button if you love it. Yeah, I've loved sci-fi for forever. So when Disney announced that they were coming out with a sci-fi musical for the first time ever after coming off the introduction of the multiverse from Marvel, I was incredibly excited about it. While many of you checked out of the sci-fi Marvel multiverse universe, I stayed with it for forever. I don't know why so many people criticized Disney for coming out with zombies, calling it a copycat off Descendants. I was a big fan of this, and I think I was probably an even bigger fan and supporter of zombies than I ever was Descendants, because zombies was just so unpredictable, and you never knew what was going to come next. You never knew what was going to hit you in the face. It was kind of like a really holy shit kind of moment, because you never knew what was coming next for zombies. And now, the conversation is at an all-time high because we really don't know what was inside of that vortex. I posted a video last night about what could have been inside of that vortex. People are already contemplating it could be mermaids, could be witches, could be sirens, could be pirates. I would go for anything like gargoyles, trolls, goblins, what have you, because there are so many supernatural creatures who have yet to see their introduction in the Zombies franchise, and with a 2-year window release being suggested for Zombies 5 sometime between now and 2027, it could go either way, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited to be here covering it for you over the next year because we've got a year to go before Descendants 5 with Wonderland, and I know what every girl out there watching these videos are saying. Jonathan Clarke, we have made you the voice of Descendants and Zombies. You are a legend because of us, which means you got to make a lot of Descendants videos so that Descendants will come quicker. So Zombies 5 will happen quicker for us because we are insane about zombies. It's either Descendants or zombies or die. I know. You got to give me time because we've got to kind of space out the releases of these movies. As excited as we are about Descendants and Zombies, we've got to give it time. Because, I mean, if they were putting out a Descendants or Zombies movie every year, do you think this Descendants and Zombies movies would be as good? I really don't think, because the script would be rushed. I would rush to press. The PR would be ridiculous, and they probably wouldn't be putting out the PR the way they wanted it to. And I think there wouldn't be enough time to promote anything, because you just have to you'd have to always have something at the end of every movie, for instance, to indicate what was going to happen next from one chapter to the other. So I think that this Zombies movie is one of the first to actually put something out there to indicate there will be Zombies 5. And we had a little bit of a teaser in between each original movie and the trilogy, like when Addison found out her hair could glow and she was going to become an alien by the end of Zombies 2. I will never forget that night that I saw the conclusion of Zombies 2. I was really hoping there was going to be a Zombies 3, because initially going into Zombies 2 I thought that was going to be it for it, because I didn't think there was really that much more left for the story to have been told. And then after I realized they were going to introduce aliens into it by Zombies 3, I said, okay, yeah, they're going to go all out with supernatural creatures. I always believed there were so many supernatural creatures out there to tell a story because of, but I didn't think they were going to go as far as what they did, because we never did see aliens in the Twilight series or in the Vampire Diaries series from years ago, and I was a big fan of vampire TV, so I said, when they're bringing in aliens at the end of Zombies 3, I said, okay, they're going to go Zombies 4, Zombies 5, and I was really happy about that, because I wanted fans to really enjoy it, and I wanted you to hear great reviews of Zombies and Descendants, and you have seen that. And these powerful characters portrayed by Kylie Charles and Mila Baker are doing a fabulous job doing it, but I can't see Descendants 5 without Ruby Rose Turner, and I don't want to envision Descendants 5 without Ruby. I'm in mourning over Ruby Rose Turner parting ways with the Descendants franchise. I just haven't, I just haven't admitted to it as probably as much as what I perhaps should. I've been crying myself to sleep every single night on this show, or after the show, I should say, about Ruby parting ways with the franchise. After she made the announcement on social media, I was heartbroken over it, and I wasn't the only fan who was heartbroken over it. So many girls were so upset over that. They couldn't envision Descendants 5 happening without Ruby, and I'll have a lot more to say where this goes today, because I was a big fan of Ruby Rose Turner. I really was. Ruby inspired me to be a better person and to be kinder to people. And I like to believe through the power of this podcast on YouTube, I've done just that. I mean, I could come on here and I could tell you that there are no more chapters to be written for Descendants. They need to stop making Descendants movies because no matter if we want to admit to it or not, there are fans out there that are getting tired of the Descendants franchise. I don't want to support that. I want to go full throttle with the Descendants franchise. And if I'm riding a train, I want to be the conductor of it. If I'm the captain of a ship, we're never going to sink. And Descendants and Zombies is going to last an eternity. And I'm going to do the best I can to solidify the legacies of your favorite stars, regardless if it's Kylie Charles, Ruby Rose Turner, Mila Baker, well, who have you. Because I think a lot of the frustration lies with the fact that, you know, there are so many fans out there of the original cast who just miss the original cast and everything that people like Cameron, Boy Stuff, Cameron, and Sophia Carson in no particular order offered to the franchise. And I do agree with that. They did offer a lot to the franchise, but I think we're being offered a considerable amount more from this new cast that is receiving the bulk of the criticism. And people are really in their face, and I just want them to back off, and I kind of just wanted to alleviate the pressure off of their shoulders, because I said this last night, Malachi Burton posting photos of himself in a gym lifting weights. I think he's really just coming off as arrogant after I gave him the benefit of the doubt on a lot of the Zombies videos that I was throwing up on this YouTube channel over the last week and a half. And then I come to see these videos on social media where he's posting videos himself in the gym and proceeding himself so arrogantly. I think that he feels blessed to be in the position that he's in, and there's no doubt about that, but to be posting these kind of photos kind of really perceives him for having a negative image, an arrogant image if anything. And I think he still has a long way to go and a lot to be proven. So I don't want to jump to conclusions about him. We'll see where he goes from here and what he'll do with the opportunity, if he will in fact make the most of it, so I won't have to kick his ass, because I've had the reputation of years on YouTube of wanting to kick the ass of a lot of people. Ryan Reynolds, Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, I mean the list goes on and on and on, Ryan McCartan, Thomas Doherty in more recent years. And I've achieved worldwide popularity for wanting to kick the ass of a lot of people. But it wasn't because they didn't step out of line or for no particular reason. It was just how unfairly they treated people in their relationships, how they seemed to make their images so flawless. And it really frustrated me, because I think that this is a blessing for people to be able to entertain such a fabulous group of people who fell in love with Descendants and Zombies so rapidly. It was like rapid fire. I never saw two franchises, with the exception of Twilight years ago, and that was over 15, 20 years ago almost. 2008 was when Twilight first premiered, and in 2000, that would bring you up to about 17 years ago, so almost 2 decades. So I think that these two franchises are perhaps the most popular to overtake the vampire zombies realm from recent years, and have achieved worldwide popularity for all the powerful messages, the powerful scripts, the unbelievable story, and how many different directions it could be taken in. Because I think a lot of people don't really understand how many different directions this could be taken in. I mean, if Zed would have zombied out, and say Addison's character would have stayed with the franchise, that would have gave her an opportunity to have a door open to start a new relationship. Where, say, Zed could have came back into the story years later after mysteriously vanishing, and people would have thought that he would have faded off into obscurity. There is so many different ways to go. He could have had a new brother. See his introduction into the series, kind of like how Damon Salvatore became Stefan Salvatore's brother in the Vampire Diaries at the very first show, at the pilot episode. Now, I was a big fan of the Vampire Diaries, so I guess that's where all these stories that could be brought into the Zombies franchise comes out of my mind. But if you followed vampire history, there is so much of a significant history with vampires and vampire TV shows and movies, like that old movie Nosferatu, where the vampire wins after she sacrifices herself to Nosferatu. That was years ago. And I saw the original movie. It was a silent movie. And I saw the remake just last Christmas. Not to say that my friends didn't want to go see it, but I seemed to be more interested in what they did. There is so much of it, and we went to the movie, and all we were saying in the lineup as we were getting tickets were, bloodsucker, bloodsucker. I mean, you haven't lived until you go to a vampire movie with your Ukrainian friend. I would highly recommend that if you have an opportunity to befriend someone from Ukraine and go to a silent vampire movie, you should, because you will spend hours in the lineup being frustrated about not getting your popcorn and your soda and keep repeating bloodsucker over and over in your mind, and then security comes over to you and one thing leads to another. But thankfully, because of all of you, I no longer have to apply for a job at Five Nights at Freddy's, which is 5 minutes up the road from me. Conveniently enough, I live 5 minutes away from a noodle shop inspired by Kung Fu Panda. It's called Chinatown, and I thought I was going to have to apply for a job there, but because of all of you subscribing to my YouTube channel, I no longer have to apply, so I can become a full-time YouTube creator and stay home for the rest of my life, which is really cool, which is why I put $5,000 behind this YouTube channel, because it's either go big or go home with this YouTube channel, and I just want to provide you with the best Descendants of Zombies videos possible, honestly. I think there is so much of a dream to be realized because of Descendants, and I think that this point Descendants has gotten to definitely opens up more doors. I think at the end of every Descendants chapter, a new door opens and remains open until we see the sequel. Like a door for Descendants 5 was opened immediately at the conclusion of Descendants Descendants The Rise of Red, which was originally supposed to be called Descendants The Pocket Watch. I think that, taking the numbers 4 and 5 out of it definitely prolongs the series, because calling it Descendants 4, The Rise of Red, or Descendants 5, Wonderland, is kind of just indicating, okay, we've already seen 5 movies. Have we gone far enough with it? But just calling it Descendants The Pocket Watch, Descendants The Rise of Red, Descendants Wonderland, really opens up a door for new possibilities and new worlds. Because I think a lot of people tend to forget about how many fairy tale worlds actually exist out there, like the Alice in Wonderland characters, which I was really appreciative of. I've developed an addiction to tea after the Alice in Wonderland characters saw their introduction into the Descendants franchise, and I'm really excited about that. And when I heard the news of Ruby joining the Descendants cast, well, I was completely thrilled, because I always had the biggest crush in the world on Ruby Rose Turner, and she's the reason why I'm pumping iron now at the gym myself, to become strong to impress Ruby Rose Turner. That's why I do that kind of thing, because I want Ruby Rose Turner to fall in love with the show, fall in love with yours truly, because I can't live without Ruby. And you can help me out with that by hitting the subscribe button. I've always wanted to treat the Descendants stars with respect, and I think a lot of people who review Descendants and Zombies really don't do that. They just state the negative and state how they feel about Descendants and Zombies. And I wanted to state how I feel, yes, about Descendants and Zombies, but in a very friendly way and in a kind way, so that these stars will Google themselves and they will Bing themselves like they did years ago, because they were Googling and Binging themselves and YouTubing themselves. But when you stop watching yourself on YouTube because you can't, or what you're afraid of you're going to find, I think that raises a serious problem. And something can be done about that. It's not that anything can't be done about it, because, YouTube could flag some of these videos. The YouTube bots, the YouTube algorithm could realize what's happening here, because a lot of these videos are being created by bots and AI. I think that more people could make a consistent effort if you're going to say anything about Descendants and Zombies, given the age demographic and how you're supposed to inspire people. I think they could make a more consistent effort to create better videos that people would love. Because I really do love sitting behind this podcast microphone talking about Descendants and Zombies. There is no better thing that I would love to talk about on YouTube and provide commentaries and analogies for. Because I think there is never enough kind things said about what you love so much. We've heard so many positive things about Twilight and True Blood and Vampire Diaries over the years, so why can't we do the same thing for this? I don't understand why everybody has to criticize it. Is it because of the color schemes of the characters and being named after their favorite colors? I think that's really cute. You have a sister named Pink, you have a sister named Red, who is going to present a lot of controversy in this storyline for the first time ever, and we could see a passing of the torch being set up here, from Red to Pink. If Kylie Charles opting out of Descendants 6 or 7, whatever they're going to be calling it, I think this is a great opportunity for Liamani Segura to have the torch passed to her, just as we saw with Freya and Malachi. As arrogant as Malachi seems to be coming off in more recent videos that I've seen him posting on social media, I hope he turns his life around. I really do, because I said a lot of really great things about Malachi Burton, and I want to keep saying really nice things about Malachi Burton. I don't want to come to discover 3 years down the road that he's an asshole, and I have to kick his ass because of how he treats Freya Sky, or how he treats his girlfriend, who probably will remain off camera for a number of years. I say this because I achieved worldwide popularity for saying a lot of things about Ryan McCartan that perhaps I shouldn't, and I had to apologize for it. But the reason why I felt the way about Ryan McCartan the way that I did, I thought it was totally unacceptable how he was treating Dove Cameron. And I was the biggest Dove Cameron fan in the world. If there was a guy out there who supported Dove Cameron for everything she believed in, and her career choices and her aspirations, it was this guy here. I thought Dove Cameron was a real sweetheart until Dove Cameron just let her opinion really fly off the handle, and she started getting under control for podcast interviews for Z100, MTV, and what have you. She was really just being with an open heart and an open mind on these podcasts, and that's really what she was showing up with. Too much of an open heart and an open mind, and then my opinion started to change about Dove Cameron, and I became eternally grateful that Kylie Charles was here and showed up when she did, because Kylie Charles is so kind. When she interacts with her fans, she is so kind. I remember at the Worlds Collide Tour just last week, one of the fans asked her if she had a pet, what would the pet be? And she responded to the fans saying, what do you guys think if Red had a rabbit for a pet? And I love that idea so much. You could have the rabbit be CGI'd. You could have the rabbit have a voice. I, for one, would love to be the voice of the pesky rabbit in the Alice in Wonderland portion of Descendants. I would love to be Red's pet's voice and be the voice of the rabbit. I'll put it out there that if Disney is looking for the voice of a rabbit, if we do CGI a rabbit to give Red a pet, I will definitely be the voice of the rabbit. I've always wanted to bring characters to life with an authentic voice. I've really appreciated how people can get paid to sit behind a microphone. Not that I want to get paid for sitting behind a microphone for all of my life doing voiceover work, but because I've been doing voiceover work for all of my life for free. I would love to do that. I would love to bring a character to life that people could draw inspiration from. But I think the rabbit would have a very fiery personality, who'd kind of be like Stitch. With this, I don't care what anybody thinks of me kind of personality, and I'm just going to do whatever I want to do because I don't give a shit kind of thing. I would really love to do that, and I would really love to be an inspirational voice because I really appreciate how people sit behind a podcast microphone and they really bring stuff to life because of their talent. And I think that there is an incredible amount of talent that goes with voiceover work. It's incredibly beautiful how you can bring a character to life for a live action like Descendants or Zombies, but it's an even more challenging effort, let me say that, to really bring a character to life because you really got to put your voice into it and your personality behind the character that you're trying to bring to life. We saw it with Olaf in Frozen by Josh Gad years ago and how he was able to bring that character to life, and then years later he landed the role of Gaston's loyal sidekick in the live-action Beauty and the Beast, which I was a really big fan of. I will forever and always support Descendants of Zombies, and you guys will always have me. While I can't speak for other podcast hosts out there, I know that you will forever and always have me. I know that I always aspire to want to do effort sounds when characters are in danger behind a podcast microphone and just spend 45 minutes going, kind of thing, because I really did appreciate that, because there's a study that goes with that, and it's something that sometimes is often underappreciated, because a lot of people don't really understand, how much of an effort goes to bringing a character to life in such a way that characters like Olaf and Lumiere from the Beauty and the Beast animated classic and Sebastian were brought to life. I have a friend from New York who really loves the fact that the Little Mermaid had a Jamaican crab friend, and he didn't even know. I mean, who doesn't know that the crab is Jamaican? Oh my God, I gotta get my friends clued up on Disney. That's why I take them to all these Disney movies. I don't know how they're gonna feel about me going to Wicked in November, because Wicked for Good drops on November 21st, and that's a 3-hour long production. So I think I'm gonna have to go to this one solo. I think I'm gonna have to end up taking a bus or something to see Wicked if they don't go with me. What do you guys think? I love musicals, so when Disney presented the idea of having Descendants become an action-adventure musical, or Zombies being a sci-fi action-adventure musical, I was blown away by it, because I had not seen anything as powerful as this put together or contributed to Disney's musical lineup since High School Musical or Hannah Montana. And then they had the Best of Both Worlds tour in 2008 with the Jonas Brothers and Hannah Montana coming together and sharing the stage. And I believe this is the first live-action concert experience with the Worlds Collide tour with Descendants of Zombies since that, as powerful as it was years ago. And the response from you guys was incredible. You have every reason to be proud of yourself, because you showed up. You didn't care what the critics had to say about their reviews of the Worlds Collide tour. You showed up, and you really glowed, and you really gave me incentive, and you encouraged me to create so many beautiful videos about Descendants of Zombies, which I've loved doing for you. Because I think that if someone is going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, he not only has to talk about Descendants of Zombies, yes, he may have to live it by living near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode, which conveniently enough I did. And I have had no regrets since. And I recorded like 3 to 4 podcasts every day, and every opportunity I get, whenever the opportunity arises, I'm sitting behind this podcast microphone, injured the night before from slaying vampires and zombies or not. I always show up. It is only 9:24 a.m. and within the first half an hour of this morning on Sunday morning, I'm posting a show for you guys because I love you so much and I don't ever want you to forget that. I will forever and always be here, and I will forever and always be incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies because I feel like all these YouTube channels are putting out videos about Descendants and Zombies and they are not following through with their promise. But, you know, it's so cool how last year I showed up and I told you I was going to make hundreds of Descendants and Zombies videos, and I have followed through and came through with that promise. And we are here now with almost 300 videos uploaded on this YouTube channel. We're receiving great feedback, really cool vibe, and I had thousands of people to thank for that, because I could be just somebody uploading videos with Descendants and Zombies that nobody ever heard tell of, nobody cared about, but everybody is watching these videos, and everybody has come together and been incredibly supportive of me and the fact that I'm a really good-looking guy with a really big heart to create great videos for you about Descendants and Zombies. And I think a lot of people have gotten to know me for being a very different guy, I know, and my opinions on Descendants and Zombies being really out there, and how I didn't agree with how some of the guys on the cast of Descendants and Zombies really didn't treat their girlfriends. I mean, that situation with Brenda D'Amico years ago was ridiculous. The situation with Dove Cameron, Ryan McCartan, Dove Cameron, and Thomas Doherty was ridiculous, and I thought it was really ridiculous how Ryan McCartan put himself out there for being the choice to be Harry Hook by Kenny Ortega for the original Descendants trilogy. Give me a break. I mean, Ryan McCartan isn't that good looking of a guy. Sure, he's tall, he's got a couple of looks, but I mean, then you got this guy hosting this show. I would like to believe that I'm way better looking than Ryan McCartan. What do you guys think? If you think so, hit the like button and let me know, because I've always wanted to one-up him. But thankfully, he's not uploading videos anymore. I think when one sits behind their podcast microphone and they are anything but appreciative of their fans, which I didn't get from Ryan McCartan. He didn't present that kind of vibe. So I just wanted to kick his ass. I think that, you know, when you're in a position like Kylie Charles, you have to be very appreciative. And Kylie was one of those stars that was very appreciative of being in that position that she was in. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And I always, all of my life, ever since I saw Kylie Charles, ever since she was 10 years old, uploading videos on YouTube, because YouTube premiered on April 23rd, 2005. That was over 20 years ago this year. So we're past the 20th anniversary of YouTube, and YouTube has seen so many advancements since then. But ever since I saw the very first video that Kylie uploaded by 2007, 2008, I knew she was going to be something special. And I like to believe that I wasn't the only one who thought that, because so many agents were trying to contract her. They knew her family's background with acting and professional dancing. So I was incredibly supportive of Kylie. So when I heard all this backlash that Kylie was receiving for her YouTube show and being casted for Descendants, you know, I said something had to be done about it. When I saw Kylie cry for the first time in February of 2024, I said, you know, when does the pain stop? And I had to do something. So I just launched a YouTube show. It was really a hit or miss for me. I didn't think anyone was going to really care about what I had to say, what my opinion was about Descendants and Zombies. But you girls really helped me. You revived my career, if anything, and I am forever and eternally grateful of each and every one of you, because I could have faded off into obscurity, but you guys brought me back seemingly from obscurity. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. And you're going to have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart, and I really do believe that the words I love you are never said enough. So I just want to say I love you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, which is more than you're ever going to hear from any other YouTube creator that you will find on this platform. Because I am incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies. I will eternally be incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies, and I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you, as I encourage you to keep kindness in your heart and show kindness to others when they least expect it, and you hit them with that blast of kindness. You never realize how far kindness can go until you try to spread your own message of kindness, and we have done that together on this channel, and I have spread a very powerful message about Descendants and Zombies and attracted more people to become fans of it. And the cool thing is, more people are fans of Descendants now than they have ever been, and more people have a reason to be proud of themselves for just being incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies, which still has a long way to go. So I think that, you know, saying that Descendants has seen enough chapters, Zombies has seen enough chapters, is really jumping to a conclusion, if anything. And I think we need to really give it the benefit of the doubt, because have we really seen the last of Ruby Rose Turner's character, Bridget? If, in fact, time travel is required by the time we get to Descendants 6, because I don't think we have seen the last of time travel, so if time travel is needed and required by Descendants 6, I think Ruby can jump back in and see her re-emergence in Descendants, because I still think she has a lot to offer for the Descendants franchise. I think it's really jumping to a conclusion to say that Ruby is saying goodbye, ooh la la kind of thing, because I've loved Ruby all my life. And I'm not just saying that because I've loved Ruby. all of my life. I'm just saying that because that's the reality we are faced with. We're going through Descendants 5 now, getting introduced to Liamani Segura's Pink, and so much controversy to ascend now between Red and Pink to create new storylines, because that's what it will do. Is it will create new storylines and make it more of an unpredictable new journey for us all, which has been incredible for me. It's been an honor for me to be here and to be able to talk about Descendants and Zombies every morning of my life. I can't thank you enough for that. I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. I honestly don't. So, if you get a moment, please hit my subscribe button. I am suffering from a zombie infection apparently this morning. Oh my God, every morning before I come in through that window, I'm suffering from a zombie infection. But if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I think you're going to want to do that. How this YouTube channel works is later on this afternoon, I will return with another video, and I invite you to join me for it. And then later on tonight, before I sign off for the final time, I will drop another video about Descendants or Zombies, because I have a lot to say where this goes, and I am having the time of my life talking about Descendants and Zombies, and I'm incredibly grateful that each and every one of you have found this channel, clicked on my thumbnail, watched my videos, and thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me and continue to for so many years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. We are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Descendants this year, and I have a lot to say where that goes to. So you never know what you can expect on this YouTube channel. Just know this YouTube channel will forever and always be here for you, spreading a message of kindness with your help. And I think now is the perfect opportunity for us to go do just that. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will be back later on this afternoon. Keep kindness in your heart as I will keep you in mine. Bye, YouTube. With that having been said, we will talk again in just a few hours from now. Be kind to one another.